so I'm not going to actually practice the part with the actual lab. I'm just going to practice the rollout piece. Is that
Yep.
cool? All right.
Yep. Okay. It is Wednesday, September 30th. You can envision any group of students.
Okay. Okay, so we just finished our lab today. And before we get into our stop and reflect questions that you guys just wrote down, I want to focus on class discussion. Because our class discussions have been pretty good, but I think they could be even better. So let's go ahead and take a look at this accountable talk poster that I've had sitting up here all year that we haven't really been using. So today we are going to have a discussion about the movies. I want us to try to use as many of these different things off of this poster. So some things that I'd like to highlight that are really easy for you to start using today. I agree with because, I disagree with because, I respect your opinion, but. Also, asking other students questions like, why do you think that? And couldn't it also be that? Those would be good conversation starters. So we're going to practice this, and I'm going to make a statement, and we're going to have a class discussion about it. I believe that Frozen was the best movie of 2015. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to do a student talk, but then that didn't make sense. Awesome. For the first one, that was awesome. And I think you do a good job of jumping into role-playing anyway, so you already kind of put on your teacher lens. So I think it makes sense to reference, we have this poster that we haven't been using at all, and we're going to talk about, the movies. Two things I would want you to do is bring in student conversation a little bit more. So why is it important for us to practice this? Why do you think so some type of student jarring questions to get their investment in the whole accountable talk push. So I would include that in a little bit more. And then I would also flip the topic of the discussion towards the end. So you said, we're going to discuss about the movies, and then you went into the explanation of the accountable talk. So I would go through that and then say, okay, so we're going to practice this. Our discussion is going to be about the movies. Here's a statement. Okay. So just kind of flip that one. Okay. So tell me those 2 points again.
So the first one is student investment, so having more of a student conversation about why is it important to practice, and then add the practice piece at the end before you start talking about conversation.
Awesome. Do you want to take a minute to kind of think about what questions you want to ask kids?
Okay, so I'm thinking, first of all, what does a good discussion look like? Maybe do a think, pair, share with that. Why is it important to practice a good discussion? And then I'm maybe going to pick 2 students to model a good discussion, and then 2 students to model a bad discussion.
Yeah, are you going to pre-pick them?
Yeah.
Yeah. What it look like, and why. I think the modeling is great, but just know once you do the modeling piece, it's going to go from 5 to 10.
Right.
So thinking about the timing. And, I think it makes sense to spend time with it, but just be aware of your timing with it. Okay, cool. Let's practice.
Okay.
All right.
All right, class, we just finished our lab today. So before we go into having a discussion about our stop and reflect questions, we are going to stop right here and talk about why it's important to have good classroom discussion. So I want you guys to do a think, pair, share right now. What does a good discussion look like? What are the qualities? What sorts of things might be people doing? So go ahead and take some time to do that. Okay. All right, great. Yes, I do think that is a good quality of a good discussion. We should have dialogue going on. People should be sharing their opinions. Great. These are all great answers. So why is it important to practice what a good discussion looks like? Because you guys all identified for me, you know what one looks like, so why is it important to practice? Exactly, it's important to practice so we know exactly what we want it to look like in class. So today, I'm going to have a couple student volunteers come up, and we're going to role play what a good discussion looks like and what a bad discussion looks like. And then we'll actually practice this together. The end.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
High five.
Ooh.
So the one thing that you did during this one, well, obviously, like you focused on the building investment, but you didn't do is talk about the poster.
And then so I figured we're gonna model the discussion first, and then like using some of those poster stems, and then I figured after the modeling, we'll reference the poster. I'll choose maybe 4 of them that I want them to focus on in our discussion, and then we'll go into the movies.
And one thing that you did during this one that I want you to write down, so you make sure you do it during your rollout, is you knew what answers you were looking for. Like obviously you were giving answers because there was no kid, but just know, you know, what answers you're looking for to make sure that what's being shared with the class is what you want.
Okay.
Yeah. And what you just said was perfect, so you can literally just write those down. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, ready to put the pieces together?
Yes.
Our last role play for the day?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So do you think I should do the poster thing like before or
So,
after the model?
Well, you did the, what does it look like?
Yep.
Why is it important?
Yep.
You did the model. So you can expand it as much as possible. If you want to expand it, you do it after. If you want to truncate it, you do it before.
Okay.
Because if you expand it, then you're pulling the questions from them, right? So the model, so what did they do good? What did they not do good? Well, these people use the posters, the accountable talk Sims. You're right, they use the Sims. During the discussion, we had to make sure we're using the Sims.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So you just, again, paying attention to timing.
Yeah.
But that will bring that investment in again.
Okay.
Okay? All right, last one. Let's go.
All right, class, we just finished our lab. So today, before we discuss our stop and reflect questions, we're actually going to talk about what does a good classroom discussion look like. So right now, I want you to turn to your partners, and I want you guys to ask to talk about what does a good discussion look like. Okay, so can I see some volunteers? What does a good discussion look like? Great, yes, a good discussion has 2 people sharing their answers. Yes, we're not talking over one another. Yes, we're building on each other's ideas. These are all great answers. Thank you. So why is it important for us to spend this time learning about what does a good discussion look like? Great, yes, it's because we can build off of each other's ideas in class. So I have a poster up here that's going to help you guys out, and these are just some things that can help you do a couple of good discussions. Some things that I want to highlight that are really easy for you to use. I agree with, I disagree with, why do you think that, asking your other students questions. These are all things that we want to focus on when we have discussions in class. So I have a couple of student volunteers who are going to come up here and role play, and I want you guys to think about what are the good things they did in their discussion and what are the things that they can improve on.
Awesome. And then you wrap up with their practice, and that's that.
And we roll up.
Yep. So we got investment questions first.
Uh-huh.
Then you did the poster,
Yep.
like sharing what's in the poster. Then you're going to do the student model.
Yes.
And then you're going to do a practice session.
And then we'll get back to what we were actually talking about.
And then you'll actually get back to what you're talking about. I think this is going to take like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it's the day after we're doing a lab and they're actually graphing their results in for our class, so that takes time out.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so
yeah.
then that fits. So then, and this is going to be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
So that's it. It's done.
Ah.